Welcome to the Behind the Art Inspiration podcast. In these special edition episodes of Creative Life interviews, I'll meet with co-authors of the book and discuss their creative life hacks. In this episode, I connect with composer, musician, and photographer Catherine Catterson, the author of Chapter 41, Focused Breathing Techniques to Calm Anxiety in 5 Steps. I'm your host, Caroline Karp, filming from my Clearwater studio. The Creative Lifebook, see it here, is full of reflections of the art of living a fully expressed life and is written by Jessica Hughes, along with 65 thought leaders, wellness experts, artists, and creatives. And the foreword is written by Dr. Joe Vitale. And so thank you so much for joining me today, Catherine, all the way from Oregon. And so we chatted quite a bit before we hopped on here and learned a little bit more about Catherine. And I thought it would be kind of fun, and I think she agreed with me, that we start off immediately with her life hack after she says hello and whatever else she wants to say. But because I think it would be fun for everybody to join us. So this is like an interactive, please join in. She's going to lead and I'm going to follow, and everybody else out there in, listening and watching land can join it. So that was a long intro, but here you go.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been fun. So, anxiety in general is something that I have always struggled with. And for me, having something that I can use immediately to calm me down, it isn't a long term, but when you need strength and you need to power through, this is something that will help you get through that moment. So, how that works in 5 steps. Basically, each step is a breath in and a hold and a breath out. And each time you do it, you add a second to it. So your first breath, especially when you're in a panic, you're going to suck in a deep breath in 1 second, hold it for 1 second, and breathe out in 1 second. So you, and you're breathing it out. So then you're going to do 2 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Breathe out for 2 seconds. Numbers 3, breathe in for 3 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. Breathe out for 3 seconds.
Do you want to walk me through it? And I see that you're breathing through your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All of that's through your mouth.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready. And close my eyes, obviously, right?
You don't have to. Okay. I don't, because usually I'm driving, so
okay.
I don't, so you can if you like.
Okay,
but
I'm ready.
Okay, so we'll just go right in order, and I'll just say step 1, we'll breathe in, breathe out. Step 2, step 3. Okay. Step 1, breathe in. Step 2. Step 3, add a second. Step 4, add a second. Step 5, add a second. And by the time you let out your 5th breath, all that nervous energy is just releasing out, and you just feel that heaviness is left, and you just left feeling a lot lighter, a lot less nervous, and you can just do whatever it is that you need to do.
I do feel like that. I feel like vibrating all over from my head down to my toes and through my arms. I think that sometimes I hold tension in my elbows, but that was nice. I could feel that. Thank you for leading us through that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's yes, it helps me so much over the years.
So while I was looking at Catherine's website, I learned that she's a musician and composes music. And when you go to Catherine's website, you can click on music. I think my favorite one is one called
Midnight Swim.
Midnight Swim. First of all, I love the name of it, and I also love the sound. And how what instruments were you using to play that?
The sound in the background is one that I found for the underwater noise in general. And then I use a guitar with a sound pedal to make it have kind of that vibration, the different sound in it. And I have a cello that I use as an upright bass and like an upright mini bass. And so I record that into my computer and then mesh it all together.
So is your cello electronic?
No,
No.
no, but I have a microphone that fits underneath the strings, and then and I have that attached to my computer.
I love the cello.
Me too.
Love. That's probably why I like that one so much because
Mm.
I love the deep. It's almost like it's the color of the instrument, like a deep, rich brown. If it were a color, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yes,
Um,
strings are good.
I also another thing I noticed that you have a lot of imagery, photography in your because you're a photographer, and I could see your love of water and landscape.
Yes, landscape and water, I think, is my favorite thing to photograph. Ocean in general has always been one of my favorite things ever. Going to the ocean is it's just so calming. The noise of it, the sound, just everything about it, the smells, and photographing that is just mm, it just relieves all my stress. There's something about it is just so peaceful. Even on a stormy day, it just breathes life into me, and it is just so wonderful to photograph. It's always changing. It's whether it's angry, calm. I mean, there's always something different every time I go.
And the landscape of the ocean where you are has hills, like mountains
Mhm.
around, right?
Yes.
Which is very different when I'm in Florida, where it's all flat. And I find it fascinating, because I grew up in Florida. I have traveled, I go to Hawaii and Italy, and it just fascinates me every time I see a mountain in the same place as the ocean. Like it's
Hmm.
just that is so beautiful to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's what you've captured. Like I noticed in your photography, that's what I see. So
Yes. The mountains are, it adds such a nice texture and depth to it. Oregon is one of the most beautiful places, and their beaches are just, they're just breathtaking.
yeah, I've never been to Oregon.
You should
Yeah.
come.
Now, as I look at the book, I can learn all about Catherine, or mostly about her. And is there something here's something I wanted to ask. You want to publish your first children's book in 2023. So, what is your children's book about?
My children's book is actually based on my daughter. Um, she's now 29, but when she was younger, that girl has the most vivid imagination. And when she would come to my house to visit for when um, we would do the custody thing, she would have something new every single time she came. And the last time that she came that I vividly remember, she had a pet lion. And so the name of the book is Carmen's Pet Lion. And
Mm.
she's a very animated girl, kind of like me. And she's like, I have a pet lion. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what's his name? Well, his name is Paul. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, Paul is as big as the sky, and she's reaching up and he's as big as the sky. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's hungry. Oh, Well, can we feed him? Well, he only eats giant chocolate chip cookies as big as pizzas. And she's as big as pizzas and she's doing this and we need to make him some. I'm like, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Can he wait until the morning? She's like, I don't know. Can you wait until the morning? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing ever. And she says, yes, he can wait. So we had to tuck him in for the night in a sleeping bag in the closet, all these things. And we made cookies for him the next day and everything was fine. And so that's what the book is based on, is
I
how
love that.
her pet lion is hungry and needs to eat giant chocolate chip cookies. So yeah, she's an endless source of of imagination.
How far are you in your journey of the book?
Well, I have the book finished. I have it edited. I just need to work on the pictures for it because I am not an artist in that sense. I don't draw well. I've tried. Yes, you do. That is
I
something that I am that's where I've kind of stopped because I
okay.
haven't pushed through that part yet.
As you were talking, I full on had images in my head of what that would look like uh and I don't know, did you know that I'm also writing a children's book?
I did. I heard that. That's
Okay.
amazing.
My book is totally done. Illustrations, everything. I'm in the process of querying
Mm.
where you can query an agent, you can query the publisher directly, and so I'm doing both. I'm
Oh,
querying
fun.
agents and I'm querying publishers, and this is my first experience doing that kind of thing. So I'd say thigh deep in my journey. But I would also always be open to illustrating also.
Excellent. We will
Yeah,
have to talk about that. Absolutely.
yeah. Um, I can see the little girl. What color is her hair? Red.
Her hair is kind of a golden brown.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice. My book is about five fairies, and so there's five little fairy girls in it,
Oh, fun.
and they have very different personalities, and they are going to. It's going to be a series, but
Mm.
the first place that they all go and they're summoned by the big old full moon is the Island of Delight.
Ooh.
And so all the artwork is based off of my Kawaii series because I have and also, the fairies. So they arrive on their winged animals
Oh,
to the
fun.
Island of Delight, and one of them is very sad. And so the whole story unfolds on how they can help lift this one little fairy up and make her help her to feel better, but in the process they're all just learning that if they move their bodies in nature and they eat good food and they now I'm forgetting my story. Each fairy has a different thing that they're doing. They have a feast, and at the end they realize that joy. They just need to be happy and have joy. So, yeah, it's fun to write kids' books.
Hmm. I agree.
And I'm an early childhood teacher. I've been one for 30 years. So I know how you get your inspiration from your daughter, but it's like these kids, like, wow, they're so adorable and
Yes.
cute and funny and smart.
Oh, they're so smart. Yes.
Um, so let's see. We did your calming. And do you work with others with this? Did I see that also?
As far as the creativity,
Yeah, tell me more. Like, tell me, what have I not asked you about that you want everybody to know about?
hmm. Well, I've just started doing a creativity consultant,
Yeah.
just helping other creatives find what they like to do and the means to do it. So if they want to start doing like textile design, which is something I also do, either, making t-shirts, using your cutting machine, Cricut silhouette machine, how to make that happen, what kind of things you need to use, what kind of materials, what kind of fabrics, all of that. And I go through and help them find what they want to do to start their business.
Wow.
So that way they can have, a strong push in the beginning, because some of them just don't know exactly. I know I kind of what I want to do. So we kind of sit down and figure out what they, because it needs to be something obviously that you enjoy doing,
Mhm.
and so we find out what they want, what they enjoy doing, what kind of investments they're looking at, that all that kind of stuff, so we can gather all that information together and get them started on their journey.
Wow, that's really interesting. Have you talked with Kira McCoy,
I haven't talked too
one of
much
the
with her.
authors? Mhm.
She's amazing though. I have seen a lot of her work and what she does. She's amazing.
She was on the podcast yesterday. I interviewed her
Hmm.
yesterday, and she, what you two are talking about, that's very similar. She manufactures, did you know this? She manufactures the art supplies that she uses to do the textile stuff.
Oh,
She
nice.
actually manufactures them. I was like, what? And so it's very connected. Um,
Yes. 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 We're gonna have to
it's
talk.
so interesting. It's interesting to me to interview all of our authors and to, first of all, find the common thread
Hmm.
and then see the commonalities between people, right? Of what they actually do. I think you are my first musician. I'm sure there's more. Um, one thing that I love to do, and maybe we can collaborate sometime, is I like to paint to music.
Oh,
Like
neat.
I like to do and there's a composer from Brooklyn, New York, named Margan Alexander, and he wrote a piece of music from one of my paintings.
Oh,
And so,
neat.
yeah, there's all kind of collaborations that can happen, like even a live video stream of music and art.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
yeah. Have you done a collaboration like that?
I have not.
Oh, could be kind of
Hmm.
fun.
Yes,
Hmm.
I like that a lot. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put this in the show notes, but where can people find you?
People can find me at catherinecatterson.com. And they can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Catherine_Catterson_creates.
Nice. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening as I share my love of fun, connection, collaboration, and art. And it would be great if you subscribed, and then you can hear more from these authors of the book and also artists from around the world. Um, and being a facilitator of conversation, I pose an open ended question. In this case, I can just go right to the book and I just let the conversation flow from there. But thank you once again, and bye, everyone.